As PAM President, Architect Adrianta Aziz, it is my honor to welcome you to the PAM Heritage and Conservation Committee event, the Legacy of Malaysian Architects Architecture Art, on 27 November 2024 at Rumah Tangsi. I request you to kindly permit me to proceed with the speech. Blending art and architecture. Malaysian architects shape heritage into timeless legacies of creativity and culture. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Peace be upon you. Salam sejahtera. Salam Malaysia Madani. Good morning. Selamat pagi. Chow San. Kalimanakam. Dato Architect Dr. Hajeedar Abdul Majid, PAM Gold Medalist, PAM Past President and celebrated artist. Architect Dr. Muhammad Zuhaimli bin An, Chairman PAM Heritage and Conservation Committee and our convener today. Tuanku Datuk Seri Iskandar, Datin Seri Manisah, Mr. Martin Lee, Director of DSP, Mr. Derek Liu, Director Brand County M. Sdn Bhd, Mr. Roger Ong Say Chin, Chief Commercial Officer Feruni Sdn Bhd, Mr. Chong Lee Hui, Managing Director Mi Floor Company. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, thank you for joining us at the opening of the Legacy of Malaysian Architects Architecture Art. This event, hosted at Rumah Tangsi, is a tribute to the profound intersection of art and architecture, two disciplines that are inseparable in shaping not just our built environment, but also the spirit of our culture. Architecture is indeed both an art and science. It requires precision, functionality, and above all, creativity. Most, if not all, Malaysian architects have a deep appreciation for the fine arts, whether as collectors, creators, curators, or even architects have always been champions of artistic expression. Today, we celebrate not only this connection, but also one of our own, Dato Architect Hajeedar Abdul Majid, whose artistry and passion for preserving Malaysia culture heritage are an inspirational to us all. Dato Architect Hajeedar exemplifies what it means to embody the spirit of art and architecture. His new body of work, showcased in this solo exhibition, marks a significant milestone in his artistic journey since his school days. His book, Soul to Reality, is a reflection of his enduring commitment through translating ideas and emotions into tangible forms that speak to the soul. This event, ladies and gentlemen, remind us that heritage and creativity are deeply intertwined. As architects, we hold the responsibility of shaping the future while safeguarding our past. Dato Hajeedar's contributions extend beyond art. His tireless efforts in preserving historic landmarks, including the old PAM Center at Lok Hall, Rumah Tangsi, underscore the importance of our collective role as custodian of heritage. I encourage everyone here to immerse themselves in this exhibition to find inspiration in Dato Hajeedar's works and to carry forward the legacy of integrating art into architecture. Let us today serve as a reminder that our creative in the walls of confined to buildings that extend to all forms of art and expression. On behalf of PAM, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to Dato Hajeedar and express my gratitude to the Heritage and Conservation Committee to creating this inspiring event. May this exhibition and programs ignite a renewed appreciation for the artistry that defines our profession and our heritage. Ladies and gentlemen, Malaysian architects with arts and architecture pursuing heritage while inspiring creativity for future generation. Ampun Tuanku, we join in thanking you for your support and today's occasion, and I wish you a very enjoyable and memorable day. Thank you.
Thank you, Architect Adrianta.
Serta para hadirin yang dihormati, terima kasih Tuanku kerana hadir pada majlis yang mulia ini dapat bersama kita meraihkan. Izinkan saya untuk menyampaikan sepatah dua kata pada pameran The Legacy of Malaysian Architects, iaitu Soul to Reality. Pameran ini merupakan sebuah antologi visual di mana pelukisnya ingin menyuarakan semangat dan emosi seni melalui isu persekitaran budaya masyarakatnya. Sebagai tanggungjawab seorang khalifah, beliau ingin berkongsi daripada pengalaman yang beliau alami, rasa ihsan melalui naluri kemanusiaan serta dunia persekitarannya yang mana ia semakin mencabar. Datuk Hajeedar mengajak untuk bersama mengembara melalui metafor bentuk imajan untuk dibaca dan direnungkan sama ada secara fizikal dan spiritual. Beliau melihat bahawa setiap ciptaan alam merupakan manifestasi untuk menzahirkan apa yang tersurat, that embody the artistic thoughts, process and decision making. Secara konseptual, proses informasi dan manifestasi kreativiti yang kita pandang pada karya beliau sebagai thought trails ataupun sebagai lines of thoughts. Beliau seolah merangka sebuah mental mapping dalam pelbagai kisah perencanaan bagi menghasilkan sesuatu yang noble kepada sebuah hasil kreativiti. Garis-garis dan palitan warna menggambarkan bahawa coretan lakaran bukan hanya sekadar abstract computations, malah ia mengajak untuk menyelami mengenai kreativiti dan the nature of human cognitions yang berkait rapat pada proses sensory, psikomotor dan keperluan ekspresi seolah satu proses terapeutik. Sejarah telah mengajarnya bagaimana perubahan alam dan kehidupan membentuk dimensi hidup yang pelbagai sebagai suatu genesis yang mampan ataupun sebagai sustainable genesis, bermakna agar memberi kesinambungan dan menjadi rujukan untuk generasi seterusnya untuk berfikir bagaimana perubahan alam itu terjadi. Di samping menjadi pelukis, beliau merupakan seorang arkitek di mana lakaran-lakaran yang dihasilkan boleh dijadikan dokumentasi sejarah yang tidak boleh dilupakan. Ia umpama kesan tanda fosil untuk dilihat kepada generasi akan datang bagaimana budaya hidup masyarakat dahulu dan kini disampaikan. Didikan dan pendedahan awal bersama Wednesday Art Group telah memberi beliau semangat bagaimana peranan kedua bidang ini telah mencorakkan pemikirannya terhadap ciptaan kepada alam dan sekitar. Bagi beliau, penyerapan rasa seni dan seni bina adalah ibarat saudara kembar yang saling memerlukan. Ia adalah nexus, berhubung dan saling berkait antara satu sama lain. Bagi beliau, seni membina nilai keindahan dan peradaban, manakala seni bina membina science of human building, physically and spiritually, the beauty of sanity. Ia dapat dilihat daripada contoh pertemuan antara arkitek Hajeedar dengan pelukis Rusia Kazimir Malevich, antara Dato Ar dengan skulptor Isamu Noguchi. Ia adalah architectonics. Menurut Immanuel Kant, human reason is by nature architectonics because it regards all our knowledge as belonging to a possible system. Dan lanjutan dari pandangan beliau, art aesthetically structured by system of thinking and the sense of human tragedy. Kesimpulannya dari pameran ini, ia tetap dapat membuka alternatif ruang seni dan ianya bukan lagi sesuatu yang dipandang sebagai sebahagian dari hobi dan hiburan. Seni menjadi trust kepada nilai peradaban baru dalam mengatur kehidupan, terutama dalam gelombang teknologi dan kepuasan estetik ini. Seni telah menjana menjadi satu industri yang sophisticated dan kompleks. Maka tidak heran Bandaraya New York City telah menjana aset seninya berbilion dolar sebagai jana kuasa ekonomi dan pembangunan infrastruktur budaya yang hebat. Hasil dari ekspresi seni pada tahun 2018, contohnya, New York City telah menjana 28.3 bilion, iaitu 44% daripada global art market. Oleh itu, harapan Kuala Lumpur boleh menjadi culture industry hub satu masa nanti yang seangkatan dengan Singapura, Bangkok, Hong Kong, Paris dan sebagainya. Oleh itu, perancangan yang rapi perlu dirangka dan dari berbagai sudut untuk menjadikan seni sebagai pembangunan ekonomi negara. Seni perlu dibentuk dengan program-program dan perancangan yang lebih teratur dan menjadikannya sebagai aset penting dan seterusnya dibawa ke peringkat global. Akhir kata, marilah kita bersama menghayati akan pameran ini akan dapat dijadikan perintis dan inspirasi mengenai kejadian alam dan manusia khususnya. Akhir kata, saya mengucapkan wabillahi taufik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ampun Tuanku.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sembah salam ke bawah Duli Yang Maha Mulia, Tuanku, serta Yang Amat Mulia, Putera-putera. Salam sejahtera kepada para hadirin, arkitek-arkitek, peminat-peminat seni, dan selamat pagi. Firstly, I wish to welcome all present to the launching of my latest book entitled Soul to Reality, The Art and Architecture of Hajeedar, and the opening of a solo art exhibition which is mounted upstairs. We are indeed honored that on this auspicious event we are graced by Duli Yang Maha Mulia, Yang di-Pertuan Besar Negeri Sembilan, Tuanku Muhriz, Ibni Tuanku Munawir, and Duli Yang Maha Mulia, Tunku Ampuan Besar Negeri Sembilan, Tunku Aisyah Rohani. Also present is Yang Amat Mulia, Tunku Besar Seri Menanti, Tunku Ali Ritauddin, and not present yet is Yang Mulia Tunku Zain Abidin, who is a key participant in this book. Life is a personal journey and very unpredictable. However, it is with the true guidance, patience, and the blessings of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala that we should always be grateful and endeavor to do our very best during this short passage of time on earth, and then to leave a modest legacy. The theme for today's event is the Legacy of Malaysian Architects. And I am indeed privileged and humbled by this event as arranged by the Pertubuhan Architect Malaysia PAM. The venue at Rumah Tangsi has also made it more significant by the fact that PAM had operated within this historic Jabatan Warisan Negara listed heritage building for a very substantial period of about 40 years between 1973 to 2012. Since PAM's inception of over 100 years ago in 1923. For everybody's information, my first book, Hajeedar, Journey in Architecture, was published in 2020, and Duli Yang Maha Mulia, Tuanku Muhriz, had also launched it during the COVID-19 MCO with a limited audience of only 20 people. And Syukur Alhamdulillah, today we see the vast difference in the number of attendees at PAM. Soul to Reality, being the second book authored by me. The book records the artistic journey and reflections of an architect from art to architecture and then to art again. A complete cycle of a life's fulfillment. Harimau mati tinggalkan belang. Manusia mati tinggalkan nama. My legacy as a Malaysian architect is simple. I started as a child artist, and at the age of 15, I had 4 of my artworks in the permanent collection of the National Art Gallery in 1960. I then studied architecture in the UK for 7 years and then practiced as an architect in both the public and private sectors for the last 50 years and have, Alhamdulillah, delivered a variety of buildings projects at home and abroad. I have always been active in PAM and LAM and have contributed towards professional development and pioneered the heritage conservation movement in Malaysia since the 1970s until our achievement of getting and the passing of the National Heritage Act of 2005 that gives us legal justification to preserve buildings in this country. In my twilight years, I have rediscovered and found the joy, skill, and satisfaction to still express my own thoughts through art. The book is therefore the author's personal journey in art, supported by narrations of friends on the rationale and passage in creative, critical thinking and contribution to spatial development as an architect, and then rediscovering that the naturally intact abilities, joy, and therapeutic values of doing art is still there to be enjoyed. It is evident, therefore, that once acquired, the intrinsic talent and skills in art shall always remain with the person, and such attributes can be recalled and revived almost instantaneously. All it requires is a genuine wish from our inner selves of the heart, mind, body and soul to reality. This life cycle story of respecting the blessings or anugerah Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for art, progressing into architecture, and then rediscovering the simple pleasures, values and appreciation of fine arts is now more exciting and humbling. The artworks so created and displayed upstairs encapsulate the inner thoughts, sentiments and emotional, humane messages of the artist. Please take your time to enjoy reading the book later and experiencing the art exhibition upstairs. PAM and the author are indeed grateful to the few industry sponsors, namely a South Korean company, MyDSP, Feruni, ME Floor, and last but not least, Balai Seni Negara, the BSN, for publishing this book. Last but not least, a very warm gratitude and heartfelt thank you. Ampun Tuanku, ampun Tuanku, ampun Tuanku. Wabillahi taufik, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dato Hajeedar, for the insightful words.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. Dato Hajeedar is a very passionate man. His passion was awakened at a very young age, and by his late teens, there was no stopping him. I am, of course, referring to his passion for art. No doubt Datin Manja would be familiar of other passions, but that is beyond the scope of my speech. This love of art, developed into a strong determination to be an architect, a career he forged very successfully. However, his passion for art never faltered, and today we're exposed to some of his work in architecture and to his work of art. In the new book, he talks about the ability to freely dream, visualize, conceptualize, which once translated onto paper on any surface becomes art. This ability is a gift which Hajeedar nurtured and developed further over the years, evident in his works of art and architecture. I was able to witness some of this ability at work in Saint-Tropez, Corsica, Porto Venere, and other holiday destinations. He would sketch a scene. His passion gets the better of him, and he must put on paper his visualization of what he sees in front of him. In the book, Soul to Reality, Hajeedar's fellow architects gave a commentary on his artwork, and the earlier speeches today also mentioned a lot about art and Hajeedar's work, so I will not attempt to do the same. Hajeedar himself gives us in comprehensive detail in his definition of art. An earlier book is focused on his journey in architecture, Here he talks about his journey from art to architecture and back to art. So that we can all read this ourselves and appreciate his works of art, it is my great pleasure to launch the book Soul to Reality and declare open the art exhibition. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, we announced the official launch of the book, Soul to Reality.
You did something.